Today I'm getting my garlic in. It's November 1st and it's about the right time. We had our first frost about a week ago, and that's usually about the time that I plant garlic. This year I'm doing two different varieties. They're both hardneck types. One is called Music. I've planted this in the past, had good success with it, and generally I will replant from my harvest each year. And I didn't do that last year, so we didn't harvest any garlic this year at all, and I sorely missed having fresh homegrown garlic available. So I ordered these in from Urban Farmer, and the other variety I'm doing, this one's new to me. It's called Thai Fire, also a hardneck, and this one is supposed to have some spice to it. So I've never done this before or planted any other kind of garlic that had some heat to it or some spice. So I'm very excited to try this one once the harvest comes next year. I did a 1/4 pound. I ordered in a 1/4 pound of each type. So this is what I got. For the Music, I got 2 pretty decent sized bulbs, and for the Thai Fire, the bulbs are smaller, but I got 4 of them. So kind of to give you an idea of what to expect if you order in a 1/4 pound. I haven't separated the cloves out yet. I'm going to do that today, but first I need coffee, so I'm going to get that started. And I thought we could just have a little chat while I kind of pick apart these garlic cloves. I probably will not take you out to the garden today while I actually do the planting. I've done a whole video showing and kind of explaining the way that I plant garlic, so I'll link to that at the end of this video in case you're interested. Today I thought we could just chat while I pull apart these cloves and drink coffee. If that sounds like something you're interested in, I invite you to hang out with me today. All right, let's get started. And I'm going to kind of share with you my experience growing garlic, some of the things that I've learned over the years as I do this, so you don't have to just sit here and watch me pick apart garlic cloves. So I'm going to start with this Music one. As I mentioned, I have grown this in the past with pretty good success. And another variety that I've grown kind of side by side with the Music is it's German Extra Hardy. I'm pretty sure that that's the name of it. If it's not, I'll put it up on the screen here. Very, very good success with these two varieties. So kind of glad to be getting back to it. And I think maybe for the last few years, it was exclusively the German Extra Hardy that I grew. Now I'm thinking about it, this might be very crinkly, so I apologize if there's a lot of noise. And when I've got them all apart, I'm going to count the number of cloves so I know what I started with. And these are some really nice size cloves. Oh yeah, this one, it's going to show up. It's like really, really large. So that is it for the Music. So I counted 15, although some of them are really, really, really tiny. And I think what I'm going to do is pull those out and just keep them here in the kitchen. And that's what we'll use for cooking on this next little bit of life here. And just plant the very largest cloves. And when I first started growing garlic and was doing all my research and everything, I read that when you get a harvest, you should set aside the largest cloves or the largest bulbs with the biggest cloves in them and use those to replant. And if you keep doing that successively year after year, you'll end up with some really, really good sized garlic bulbs and cloves. And I found that to be true, very true. So I was kind of disappointed in myself that I didn't plant last year because I kind of stopped I had been working on this one variety. It was the German Extra Hardy for probably 3 years, just replanting the largest cloves every year. And I had it up to like some really nice sized garlic. And I kind of stopped that abruptly. So now I'm kind of starting over. It's not a big deal. And really, when you think about it, they're only going to get to be a certain size. It's not like you're going to end up with garlic cloves the size of a golf ball or something like that. Garlic bulbs, heads of garlic, yes, but garlic individual cloves, they're only going to they're only going to get so big. And so I don't feel like I lost too much time by starting over, especially since some of these are already pretty good size. So that's the music. And I want to find a way to keep these separated for the few, like the smallest ones that I'm holding aside today for cooking and whatnot. That way we'll know what we're using. And if we use one of these in cooking and we're not expecting it to be the Thai fire, we won't get a surprise. And by the way, if I didn't mention this, I got these from Urban Farmer Seeds and they're out of Indiana. So let's do the Thai fire, kind of picking off this little outer layer of skin. It's like a papery skin. So you kind of need to do that just to be able to access the cloves. But you don't want to pick the skin off of the individual cloves. I'm not sure what would happen if you did do that and then stuck them in the ground. I have a feeling that they might rot away. Like, I don't know. Maybe that should be this year's experiment. To me, garlic is one of, if not the easiest food crop to grow. At least for me, it has been. And I did an experiment a couple years ago where I wanted to see how much planting, like the timing of planting, impacted the harvest. So I separated my garlic into 3 different bunches, and I planted one bunch a week before our expected first frost. And then when we got first frost, like that day or the day after, I planted the second bunch. And then I waited, it was 1 or 2 weeks after first frost, planted the third bunch. And I guess my intention was to see how much that first frost would impact. And there was no impact at all. There was no difference in success rate, how large the garlic bulbs grew. It was equal across the board. So it was kind of fun to do a little experiment, and maybe it might be worth it to peel a clove and kind of stick that in at the end, or maybe do like 2 cloves like that, and just to see what happens, if it'll even grow. I have a feeling that it might not do well if you peel off that outer layer of skin, and I've never even thought to look that up. Anywho, let's get going with these. These can be a little hard to get started. You got to kind of they're all adhered so firmly onto that hard neck right there, the stem, that it can be hard to crack them apart. But once you get that first one cracked out of there, it's not hard at all. The rest of them are real easy to grab onto. Okay, there we go. If this is crinkling too much, I will try to edit that out, and I apologize. I didn't think this through very well. It's okay. So one difference I'm seeing with this Thai fire, just in coloration, so far at least, they seem to be a little bit darker purple. And there are some garlics that have a really strong purple color. They're not really a whole lot different now that I'm looking at it, maybe slightly darker on the whole. This is a tiny one, so I'm going to set him aside and we'll use that one to cook with. I've got 3 more bulbs to do the same thing with. I might just kind of put some music on while I do this, so I'm not crinkling in your ear. And coffee. I noticed that this one here is missing a clove. So I don't know what happened there. They sell these by weight though, so it's not a big deal. And one thing I've found too is that if you're going to order garlic in, you need to jump on it soon, like as soon as it becomes available, because most places it seems like do sell out of their garlic for planting. This particular bulb seems like it's a lot dried out than the other ones. I don't know if that matters, but I don't think it'll matter for planting purposes. And these bulbs and cloves are significantly smaller than the music. This one's even kind of yellowed. I don't know what's up with that. I'm going to pull that out and see if it's good enough for cooking with right now. All right, let's count. So I've got 18 of these. And then I think I have 12 of the music after I pulled 3 aside. And it just, it's not like it's critical and I have to have a certain number. It just helps me when planning my spacing in the bed. So that's the only reason there. Not a whole lot, 12 versus 18. That's not a lot of difference. So I think I should be able to get these all in one row on my 12-foot. If I did the math, I'll do the math before I start. Actually, I probably won't. What I'm probably going to do is just go out there, and this is how I always plant garlic anyway. I just place the cloves, set them on top of the soil, evenly spaced out, just to get a good idea of the spacing in general, and then I go ahead and pop each one down into the soil. So I'm going to clean up my little mess here, and we'll check in before signing off. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today while I pulled apart the garlic cloves. I'm going to head outside, get these into the ground, and like I mentioned earlier in the video, I do have a whole video showing how I plant garlic here. Everybody does it their own way. It's just the way that I do it. If you think you might find that helpful, that video's right over here. And in the meantime, just keep planting.